Let's begin in a seated position of your choice that's super comfy for you. Allowing both sit bones to be rooted on the earth. So whether that means propping yourself up to give yourself space that you can sit nice and tall on a block or a folded blanket, or adjusting your legs so that you're sitting on those sit bones and rising up tall from the sit bones. This last week I've been enjoying watching the birds flutter around the trees that are turning green quickly. And it reminded me of the eagle's nests that are often online, that you can watch the eagles grow in their nest, lay eggs and hatch. So I took a peek, and most of them have hatched an egg or two. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun tonight to build up to some eagle poses? So we'll start with a baby eagle in a nest, and then we'll take it to a full-grown standing eagle pose. But first, let's sit here and welcome ourselves to our practice with some big breaths. So allowing that inhale to come in, filling all of our torso, feeling all four sides of our torso expand. And then as we open our mouth, we allow a long sigh out. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in, filling, 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 filling. When you feel like you can take no more, take a little bit more. Perhaps you pause for a second, open the mouth and let it out. It feels like we should take just one more of those. Let's go ahead and do that. Big breath in, fill ourselves up. Fill, 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 fill. Take a little bit more, and then let it go. Beautiful. Allowing ourselves to center here for just a moment. Allowing our breath to return to its natural cadence. We may wish to set an intention for this particular practice. We may just observe the breath flowing in and out. Drawing our attention here to this moment. And then we'll begin to move by taking a big breath in, pulling our shoulders up to our ears. If your eyes are closed, you might flutter those open. And use your exhale to take your shoulders back and slide those shoulder blades down your back body. Let's do that again. Big breath in, pull the shoulders up, 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 up. Exhale, shoulders go back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then allow the shoulder blades to slide down the back body. Couple more times. Inhale up. Exhale back and down. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale back and down. Beautiful. Leaving your hands on your thighs or your knees. Let's start with some cat and cow movements. So your inhale pulls your heart forward, lifts the chin a little bit, lengthens through the front body, and the exhale rounds through the back as the chin tucks to the chest. Inhale rounds us forward. Exhale rounds us back. Take a few more on your own breath cycle, really allowing your body to feel the movement and the wave from side to side, taking what you want and leaving the rest behind, reminding ourselves that yoga doesn't hurt. Modify as we need, taking the extreme of the pose that you wish to take and which serves you in this moment. Last breath round, so a big inhale forward and exhale back, and allowing us to come out of this movement, we rise tall again. Let's go ahead and bring our hands together, fingers interlaced. One knuckle becomes the marker as we draw our infinity sign, really getting them moving and grooving through the rest here. We're going to spend a little bit of time on our hands in a moment, so I'm going to get them warmed up. Back the infinity sign up, drawing the other way. And then we'll let our hands loosely come apart, fingers stay together, and we wave our arms from one elbow to the other. Take a few of these. And then go ahead and back it up. I'm trying to warm the wrist up here, so really allow the movement to come through the wrist. And then we'll flip this upside down. So palms come up, fingers stay interlaced, and we wave from one elbow to the other. And back the motion up, taking it from the opposite elbow. And give your wrist a shake out here. And let's dive forward to that tabletop position. So taking that moment to set your foundation up nice and strong, we spread our hands wide and claw the mat and really feel the clawing of the mat. And when you claw the mat, you can feel that support up through the arms. Our knees are underneath our hips and feet are extended out long behind us. Beautiful length through the spine. As we tone the belly, thinking of pulling the two hip points together and pulling up from the pelvic floor. We're pushing the chest away from the earth and noticing if your head is dangling down. Can you go ahead and extend the crown as a lengthening off of the spine? So we're nice and long, tail to crown. Let's inhale our right toes out behind us. You can leave those toes on the earth or lift them up, your choice. If your toes are up in the sky, you're going to think of lifting from your inner right thigh, keeping the toes dialed down. Trying to keep the hip level. So not allowing that right hip to dip down or hike up, but stay at the same height as the left hip. We're breathing while we're here. Big breaths in. And on the exhale, let's swing that leg off the left side of our mat. So we're crossing over the left leg and landing on our toes off the left side of the mat. Take a peek here and see if this is enough of a side body stretch to the right side body. If you're looking for a little bit more, you're going to look over that left shoulder, back at those right toes. Really feeling the lengthening coming through the right side body. I'll take one more big breath in here, and on the exhale, go ahead and drop your knee right where it is. So the knee, the right knee, is landing on the floor on the outside of the left shin bone. We get a little crisscross applesauce happening behind us with our legs, building up to those eagle legs. Let's go ahead and take an inhale, shine your heart for cow pose, lift your chin. Exhale, round through the back, drop the chin. Inhale, bring yourself back to that neutral flat back position. Tone through the belly. Big breath in. And on the exhale, we take the right knee back underneath the right hip. We've landed back in our tabletop position. All right, let's try that on the other side. Inhale, left leg out behind us, toes dialed down, legs in the air or on the ground, your choice. We're thinking of lifting from that inner left thigh, keeping the toes dialed down. Do a little touch base with that hip, toning through the belly still, finding length from tail to crown. We're breathing while we're here. And when our next exhale comes along, this left leg swings over to the right, landing on the earth just off the right side of the mat. Draw your attention to your left side body and see if that's enough of a stretch. And if you're looking for a little bit more, then we look over the right shoulder, back at those left toes. Again, breathing while we're here, allowing that side body to stretch to come from the left hip to the left armpit. Take our last big breath in as we return forward with our body. Allow the left knee to fall to the earth on the outside of the right leg. Big old crisscross applesauce. Big breath in, drops the belly, shines the heart, lifts the chin. Exhale for your cat pose, pulling your back up, pushing your back up, dropping chin to chest. Inhale, we'll bring ourselves back to that flat back position, neutral spine, and take our left knee underneath our left hip. Beautiful. Let's bring those big toes to touch. We'll send those knees a little bit wider here. Big inhale, think of pulling the crown away from the tail. And as we exhale, tail sinks back for child's pose. You can leave your hands exactly where they are, or go ahead and stack fist or palms underneath your forehead. See if you can wiggle your armpits away from your hips a little bit, but without lifting the hips, keep the hips where they're planted. If your wrists are talking to you already, this might be a good time to give them a little extra rocking and rolling, bringing some action into the wrist to give a little bit of relief. We're taking full breaths in and full breaths out. If your hands are stacked underneath your forehead, go ahead and put them back out in front of you, hands spread wide, all 10 fingerprints clawing the mat as we send ourselves back up to our tabletop position and draw our knees back underneath our hips. Set your foundation up strong again, 10 fingerprints clawing the mat. Let's go ahead and inhale our right leg out behind us again. Find that strength and stability by lifting from the inner right thigh. We're going to add some crunching action here so you can stay with just the leg doing the action, or if you wish, the left hand can join the party by reaching out long in front of you like you're going to shake somebody's hand. We'll take a big inhale, pulling heel and fingertips away from each other. And on the exhale, knee to elbow underneath or knee to nose. Inhale, let's lengthen out nice and tall, keeping the belly toned. Exhale allows us to crunch under. Inhale, lengthens out. Exhale to crunch under. Inhale, we extend, 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 holding here. One more big old breath. Use your next exhale to return yourself to the earth, back to that quadruped position. All right, let's go ahead and make sure that the hand that was just replaced to the earth is nicely spread between the fingers, clawing the mat. We'll send it to the other side by inhaling the left leg out behind us, toes dialed down, pulling up from that inner thigh. Keeping long length through the spine, toning through the belly. Deciding if this is enough or if you'd like to add a little extra. We add the right hand this time, reaching out in front of us, palm facing into the midline. One more big breath in, pulls our fingertips and heel away. Exhale, knee to nose or knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthens out, slow and control, keep the tone through the belly. Exhale, crunch under. Inhale to lengthen out. Exhale to crunch under. Inhale, lengthens out, hold it there. Pulling up from that inner thigh, pushing into the earth. Last big breath in, and then we exhale. Hands come to the earth, knee comes to the earth. Whoo! All right, let's go ahead and walk our hands ahead, just a handprint or so. Give ourselves a little bit of space to curl our toes under. Take a deep old breath in, and on the exhale, send those sit bones up and back. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal your puppy out, bending one knee and dropping the other heel. Finding some length through the back of the legs here, just gently. Remembering to still claw that mat, push into the mat. Push all the way up to the armpits, and then think of lifting the hip creases up and back. Long, tall length as we come to stillness in our down dog. We'll use our next inhale to look forward between our hands, and exhale, walk, skip, jump, hop, forward fold, top of the mat. Let's use our inhale to lengthen us up halfway, long and tall through the spine. Exhale, folds us down. Inhale, sweeps the hands out and up. Exhale, lets the hands go. Beautiful. So we've landed in Tadasana at the top of the mat. Go ahead and make sure that you're in a comfy position with those feet about hip width apart, parallel to each other. Gonna head into some low lunges here. So inhale, sweeps the hands all the way up. Exhale, folds us forward. Let's take one halfway lift, long and tall through the spine. And then exhale to fold. Plant your hands and step your left foot back, dropping your left knee. Now you're going to take a lunge length that feels good for you. So how far back your knee goes is really going to depend on how your body's feeling. Remembering that we can double up our yoga mat and pad underneath our knee, or grab a face cloth or something to pop underneath our knee to support us. We're finding tall length from tail to crown. And then let's go ahead and imagine scissoring your legs together. Your thighs are going to scissor together. Pull those hip points together. Keep the left hand on the mat as we inhale. And exhale, peel the right hand up, sending it up to the sky for our twist. Keeping the strength and stability through the legs here. One more big breath in here as we reach a little higher. Exhale, draws the right hand back down to the mat. And we'll use our next inhale to lift ourselves up. Hands going way up to the sky. We get a big old beach ball. Remembering that if balance is challenging, yes, we're going to take our feet further apart widthwise, but still maintain that strength through the legs. So really think of scissoring those thighs together like you're trying to close scissors. One more big old breath. We reach a little bit higher. And on the exhale, take your hands down to the side, reaching out to the side, palms facing forward. All right, we're going to do a little hug breath here, warming up for our eagle arms. So since the right leg is in front, we're going to cross the left arm over the right. So opposite arm goes over as we give ourselves that hug, wrapping our arms around the sides of our body. We'll take an inhale to lengthen us up, and then exhale allows the elbows to come down to the chest, chin to chest, rounding through the upper back body. Use your inhale to fill that space in between your shoulder blades, sending the shoulder blades away from each other. Exhale to soften during this space. Inhale reaches those shoulder blades away from each other as we fill that upper back body with air. Exhale to soften. One more. Inhale, full breath up in the upper back body, spreading those shoulders away. Exhale to soften. Inhale sends your hands up to the sky. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and exhale both hands down to the mat on either side of the front foot. Pop the back knee. Pivot on your left toes, landing your foot in a warrior two stance. So your foot is going to land parallel to the back of the mat. Make sure you squeeze those heels together for support. And when you feel ready, take a big old breath up. Lift yourself up, warrior two. Adjust the stance if necessary. You might want to shorten it or lengthen it. Whew, here we go. Warrior two. Let's take a moment to pause in our warrior two. It's a good opportunity to look over that front hand. Find something that's in front of you that can act as your drishti later when we take that balancing pose. Let's go ahead and inhale our right hand up to the sky. So we're not moving the body in any way, shape, or form, just allowing that right arm to go right straight up. And then bend at the elbow, allowing the hand to come behind the head. So the right hand is coming down anywhere that feels comfortable. It might end up resting in between the shoulder blades or anywhere along the back of the head. Let's go ahead and inhale the left arm up to the air. And on the exhale, bend at the left elbow, allowing the left hand to come to the right elbow. So we've made this box above our head here. A little bit of stretching through the shoulder and side body, creating space in the shoulders for when we crisscross them. One more big breath in here, nice and tall. See if you can draw those lower ribs in. Exhale, let the hands come back, front to back. Warrior two. We'll use our following inhale to look forward, and our exhale to step ourselves forward. Tadasana, top of the mat. All right, here we go. Same story, side two. Okay, inhale, sweep the hands up and over. Exhale, let's hinge at the hips, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. And then exhale to release to the earth. This time we're stepping our right foot back, landing the right knee on the earth. Again, taking a second to pad the right knee if you need. Taking a second to find out what feels good right here for you. So it might be creeping those toes curled under or uncurling the toes and coming to the shoelace side of the foot, whichever provides more stability for you. We're going to create more stability by squeezing those thighs together, pulling the hip points together, inhaling, making sure the right hand is underneath the right shoulder. Exhale, peels the left hand up to the sky for a twist. Maintaining the strength even though we've risen from the root here. One more big breath in, lifting the hand up. Exhale allows the hand to come down so we can face forward before we use our next inhale to lift both hands up to the sky. Big old beach ball over your head. Again, keeping that stability through the legs, squeezing the legs. You can think of pulling the belly away from the thigh here or the hip points in together. Create that lower belly strength. Ooh, let's take an inhale to reach a little bit taller. And exhale, bring your hands down, reaching outside to side, palms facing forward. Okay, so this time the left leg is in front, so the right arm will cross over as we cross our arms and give ourselves that hug. Finding a comfortable hug for you, depending on how far your hands want to go around the side of your body. You want those arms on the side of the body though, not up over the top of the shoulders. All right, keeping the stability in the bottom, big breath in, we lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, allow the elbows to come down to the body, chin to chest. So here we go again. We're going to play with that shoulder breath. So inhale, filling the space in between the shoulders, feeling the shoulder blades slide away from each other. And then exhale, let everything soften. Big breath in, filling the upper body, spreading the shoulder blades, perhaps even up into the neck, you can feel it. And then exhale, soften. Last one, inhale, filling the upper body, maintaining lower body strength. Exhale, soften. Let the hands go. Inhale, hands all the way up. Big old beach ball, nice and tall. Exhale, hands come down to the earth, either side of the left foot. All right, here we go. We're going to pop that right knee up, pivot on the right toes, dropping the heel to the earth. So we're landing with our right foot parallel to the back of the mat. Our feet are in warrior two. Squeeze those heels together, find that strength and stability. And on your next big inhale, windmill yourself back up, warrior two. Take a second to adjust your stance so it feels comfortable. The length of your low lunge might not be the length that the warrior two wants to take, so feel free to take a second to adjust it. All right, hands reach out front to back. Long, tall warriors here. Maintaining that stability through the legs by squeezing the heels together. Find that drishti again as we look over the left hand this time, something that's on the wall or just off the tip of the fingers that isn't moving that we can use as a focal point later. Inhale sends the left hand up to the sky. We go ahead and bend at the elbow, allowing the left hand to come behind the body, behind the head, wherever is comfortable for your arms. And then we go ahead and inhale the right hand up to the sky, Bend at the elbow and allow the right hand to rest on the left elbow. A little bit of support here. Notice when you did this, if your lower ribs started jutting out forward, and can you knit those back in, pulling them down towards your hip and your hips up. We're taking full breaths in while we're here. Full breaths out. One more big breath in. Exhale sends our hands front to back, warrior two. Inhale, we look forward. Exhale, we walk forward, top of the mat. Give yourself a little shake out. All right, here we go. Inhale your hands up over your head. Squeeze those thighs as if you are squeezing a block in between your thighs. Pull your hip points in together. Lift up from the pelvic floor. And then exhale, sink your hips back, child's or chair pose. Finding lots of strength and stability here, really thinking of squeezing the hips together. Breathing lots of love in, lots of love out as you forward fold. Plant your hands and step yourself back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. All right, your adventure, people. We're gonna come to a seated position. So whether you jump through and land or land your knees and swing around, your choice. But everybody's coming to a seated position. Knees bent, feet on the earth. Two choices again. You can go ahead and hold onto the back of the thighs to roll back onto your back, or perhaps we tone the belly and allow ourselves to let go of the thighs and slowly and with control, keeping that tone in the belly, recline back, allowing the head to come to the earth. All right. So regardless of what adventure you use to get here, we're all lying on our backs, making sure we're nice and tall through the spine. So do some wiggling to make sure the hips and armpits are far away from each other. Knees are bent, soles of the feet on the earth, hip width apart. Okay, here we go. Inhale your right foot way up to the sky. And then go ahead on your exhale and cross your thighs. So like you're sitting in a chair with your legs crossed. We're warming up to some eagle legs. So whatever way your legs want to crisscross applesauce at this point is super duper. So it may be that the outer lower leg is resting on the thigh. It might be thigh on thigh. If you're feeling super flexy tonight, you may take that right foot and wrap it around the inside of the left foot. Totally got eagle legs while we're lying down. Okay, right leg's on top. Inhale, both hands outside to side. On the exhale, left arm crosses over. Go ahead and give yourself a hug. Now, this is our little baby eagle in the nest. Let's give this baby some wings to try to fly. So you can stay with this hug if you're not quite ready to fly the nest yet. That's perfectly okay. If you're looking for some wings, allowing the elbows to stay connected, begin to lift the tops of the palms together. So the backs of the hands, that's what I'm trying to find, come to touch. So now we have the back of our forearms touching. If we're looking for that extra eagle arms, we're going to spin the right arm around the left so our palms come to touch. So now we've got our legs and arms all twisted up. Perhaps we lift our elbows just up a little bit more, give us some extra space in the shoulders, being gentle where we are. Here we go. This is totally your eagle pose with no balancing. We're a little baby eagle in a nest. One big breath in. Exhale, untwist the arms, untwist the legs. Bring yourself back, both feet on the earth, knees bent. Allow your arms to go where they need to go for a moment. Let's take this eagle on the other side. Inhale your left leg up. And then exhale, cross the left leg over the right. Again, Could be the lower leg that crosses over the thigh. We might be thigh to thigh crossing, like we're sitting in a chair here. Or the left leg might wrap around the back of the right ankle, coming on the inside of the right foot. Remember, each side of our body is different, so we're going to take what we want and leave the rest behind. Left leg's on top, so this time we're going to put right arm on top. So big inhale sends arms out side to side. On the exhale, we cross, give ourselves that hug, right arm on top. Deciding if the hug is enough in this little eagle nest. Or if we're looking to add those eagle arms, we keep the elbows touching, allow the backs of the hands to come to touch. If you're looking for that little extra more, we wrap our forearms around each other, allowing the palms to come to touch. See if you can draw your elbows up towards your nose a little bit. Breathing while we're here, little baby in the nest. One more big breath in. Exhale, untangle the arms, untangle the legs. Bring both knees into your chest. And start doing a little rocking and roll and tail to crown so that you can rock yourself all the way up to a seated position. Once you come to this seated position, it's your choice of adventure again. So we're coming to a standing, so you can use whatever way you want to come to a standing. Or you can take this little adventure of crossing your ankles here, taking a big breath in, pushing into the feet and popping yourself up. If you've crossed your feet to get them come up, let's uncross them and bring yourself back up to Tadasana. This is where everyone is meeting, regardless of their adventure to get here. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, let the hands go. Beautiful. All right. So we've popped out of the nest, or maybe we're on the edge of the nest. Let's see how far we want to fly this eagle. So let's start with our left foot remaining on the earth. Ground it down through the earth. We'll come up onto our right toes, challenging our balance. And remember, find that drishti point that we picked out on the wall earlier. Your eagle may stay just like this. If you're looking for a little extra, you're going to go ahead and start sinking your hips down like you're coming into that chair pose. Once you've sunk down, you may decide, ooh, this is definitely where I want to stay on this side of the nest. If you're looking to fly a little bit closer to the edge, we'll lift that right leg and cross it over the left, just like we're sitting in a chair, legs are crossed. Same options apply as when we were laying down. Legs can stay crossed, or we can wrap the right foot around the back of the left leg. Find that drishti. Remember, if your eagle needs to touch down and come back up, that's totally okay. Right leg's on top, so we'll inhale our hands out side to side. And on the exhale, we give ourselves that hug with the left arm on top. Stay in the hug, or go ahead and lift your hands in that twisting, crisscrossy, eagle arms, palms to palms, or anywhere in between. One more big breath in here. Really sinking through the hips, lifting through the elbows. Smile on the face. And go ahead, baby bird. Exhale, untangle everything and fly. Both feet come back to the earth. All right, give a little shake out. Bird number 2, let's see how it's gonna do. Let's keep right foot grounded. Come up on the left toes to start. Toning through the belly, provide that support. Find that drishti, that focal point, the stare down. Decide if this is enough. If we're getting a little closer to the edge, we're gonna go ahead and sink those hips like we're in chair pose. Deciding if this is close enough. If we're looking a little bit closer to the edge of the nest, we're going to cross the left leg over the right. Deciding if the foot will just stay where it is or wrap behind the left leg. Big breath in, sends arms out side to side, left legs on top. So when we hug, right arm comes on top. This may be enough, or we'll go ahead and crisscross our forearms like we did before. Perhaps bringing palms to touch or backs of hands to touch. Wherever we are, woo, little windy on this time. Wherever we are, we're breathing and having fun with this. One more big breath in. Exhale, untangle, and let both feet come to the earth. You might want to do a little shake out. Okay, here we go. Feet planted. Inhale, send those wings up and over. Exhale, let's forward fold. Inhale, one halfway lift, long, tall spine. Exhale, we fold, plant our hands and step yourself back down dog. Push into your hands, sit bones go up and back. Once again, your adventure. We're coming to a seated position, so drop your knees and swing your feet around or go ahead and jump through crisscross. Once we're on our bottom, the feet come out in front of us again, knees bent, same adventure choices. Hold on to the backs of the thighs and roll back, or we float those hands. Keep the hip points toned, pulling up from the pelvic floor, and slowly allow us to lower back. Rounding through the spine all the way down until the head reaches the earth. Once again, making sure we're long and tall through the spine, wiggling and jiggling the hips away from the armpits. Whew, feet on the earth, knees bent. Letting your hands rest where they want to. Go ahead and take a few windshield wipers, allowing your knees to fall together to one side. Pausing there for just a second before sweeping through and falling to the other side. Pausing there for a second. Few more back and forth. Taking that second to pause at the edge. Start drawing our attention to our exhale. Seeing if we can lengthen it in any way, shape, or form here. Next time your knees come through center, they'll stop there. You'll bring both knees into your chest for a hug. You might rock side to side or take big circles with your knees. You might wish to part your legs to do that, so making big infinity signs with your knees here. Going one way and then the other. And then we'll bring our knees into our chest again. Big, big hug of love. And then exhale yourself into a Shavasana. Your knees are bent and your feet walk wide so your knees can fall into each other. We are laying out nice and long. Lying on your side or taking the legs up the wall pose, whatever suits you in your space. Just as we welcomed ourselves to the practice at the beginning, we'll welcome ourselves to Shavasana with big full breaths. So this first full breath, think of filling through the upper body, all four sides of the chest and back expanding, into the belly expanding, all four sides of our lower body. And exhale, big sigh, let it out. Next inhale, once again, fills our torso, expanding all four sides of us, 360 degrees, expanding out. And then feel the breath into the hips and down to the root. And then exhale, out it goes. Everything softens. Next big breath fills us, fills our torso, fills all the way to the toes, all the way to the fingers. You might think of crunching the fingers and the toes, maybe crunching up the nose, filling a little bit more, holding the breath for a second, and then relaxing everything down to the earth. As we've landed back in our nest, knowing that we are supported by the earth below us, our mat. Know that we are supported by the friendship and love of those who practice with us. We allow ourselves to take a moment of quiet. We follow our breath in and out. As we move out of Shavasana and back to the space, you might invite a little bit of a deepening to your breath. Take a moment to scan your body and see what wants to move. And then allow it to move in a way that serves your body in this moment. Whether that be a big old stretch or another hug with your knees into your chest. Or perhaps your body doesn't want any movement at all right now, and that's okay too. If you are going to join us for closing, we'll go ahead and make our way to a side of our choice. Pausing there for just a second. We'll use our hands to push into the earth and send ourselves back upright to a seated pose. It serves us in this moment. Taking that moment to settle into this position. The breath lengthening us up and an exhale settling us in. We'll take our hands to heart center. May you be healthy and safe. And may you forever know the love that surrounds you. Namaste.